Hi Flosstube.
Hi.
I'm back for Flosstube video number 2, and I have a guest today. It's my daughter Catherine. She's my oldest child.
Yes, I'm the boss. They don't know it, but I'm the boss.
So maybe first off, we'll have her start out, introduce herself a little bit.
Okay, a little bit about me. I also live in Utah, so I will probably be a frequent guest on the show because I also stitch quite a bit. Been stitching for, gosh, what now, like 20 years? Ish. Yeah, yep. I have a 5-year-old son. I am very happily divorced, and I don't know what else. I love Dave Ramsey. I love stitching, obviously.
Okay, so tell us how you got started stitching.
Well, actually, this is her fault.
And we were talking about it right before camera, and I was like, I don't know. How did you get started stitching?
Well, the story that you always tell is that I'm like a little child, like laying underneath your stitching, like watching the needle go up and down. I guess that was interesting. I don't know.
You'd lay down by my feet or on my lap, and you'd watch it go in and out from the back. Because I didn't have a frame then. I had it in a Q-snap, I think, but I think I had it just resting up against me, so you could be underneath watching the needle go back and forth underneath.
That makes sense, yeah.
And you kept asking me, and you were less than 5. You were like 3 or 4, and you kept asking me, can I do it? Can I do it? Can I do it? And you're not going to usually hand your stitching to a 3-year-old, so I just kept saying, no, let's find something else for you to play with.
And finally, I think I was, 8 years old when you were finally like, okay, here's your own kit. Here's your own stuff. And I was just thrilled to death because she made me like a bag and everything to put it all in. And it was like this little cat. That's what I should have brought. I should have brought
I was going to say, what was the project? It was a cat.
Yeah.
We'll do that next time. We'll bring the cat.
I don't know if I know where it's at, but yeah. So that was my very first project, and I was just thrilled to death about it. And I remember asking my dad to help me because you know how you do like the loop at the end of the thread to like start, when you're doing 2 threads. I remember you were gone or something, and I was asking Dad. I was like, how do I get the loop to be at the bottom? Because I couldn't remember that part, and he just looked at me like, I don't know. You're going to have to ask your mom when she comes back because I have no clue. I was like, okay, so it was fine. So I've been stitching ever since. My whole life I've been stitching. So I brought a few completed pieces today, and I brought my WIP with me today, so we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Awesome. I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who commented, everyone who watched the video, all the subscribers. I was just overwhelmed by all of your kindness, and everyone you just are so shocked that anyone would be interested in watching your videos. So I'm just amazed. Thank you so much. Everyone says the Flosstube community is such a kind, pulls you in and just community, and it really is true. You've all been just so nice. Thank you so much.
And you're all so much fun to watch. This one was like, you need to watch all these videos so that you can see what's going on.
Catherine, you gotta watch them. She's never watched Flosstube. I said, okay, before we make a video, you need to watch some Flosstube.
Yeah.
So you can kind of see what.
I watched a handful, and you guys are all great. So keep it up. Keep doing what you're doing.
I told them it's better than TV.
Yeah, especially when you're stitching.
Yeah, especially when you're stitching. That's
stitching. Yeah. So yeah, it was just cracking me up that it was a YouTube thing that you recommended to me and not the other way around.
Yeah, because you're the YouTube generation.
Exactly. So that's a whole brand new chapter of YouTube that I found that I've been enjoying.
I have the first cross stitch I made too for my mom.
Oh,
so
really?
we could have a show where we talk about the first cross stitch.
Okay, I'm definitely going to have to figure out
next time you visit.
Yes. All right, what are we talking about first?
Okay, first we're going to do our WIP progress. So I'll let you go first. Catherine, what did you work on this week?
Oh, gee, I don't know. The one project that I have. Okay,
Catherine is a one at a timer, an OOAT.
Well,
most of the time.
Right now, at this moment in time, I'm a one at a timer. But historically, I've had. Yes, we've had to talk about this because she always comes to me and she's like, Catherine, I'm just so stressed out. I have so many projects to work on. I'm like, Mom, there's an easy way to fix this. So we had to start having debt consultations where I came to talk about
WIP debt.
Because I'm an accountant, right? So it's hilarious because I love Dave Ramsey and I'm an accountant. So I'm like, Mom, you have too much WIP debt.
So we get out the blue magnet board that I showed you last week.
Yes.
And we talk about how many there are and what the plan is and how many, am I going to start anything new? How many am I going to finish first?
So we can get it down to like a manageable rotation for her. For me, that's not so much of a problem. So I don't know. But anyways, so the one project I'm working on right now is this Heaven and Earth design that I love. And I'm gonna hold it up so you can see it, but I don't know if it's focusing or not. Oh, that's a good idea. So anyways, this is the part that I'm on. I'm not going to take it all apart and show you the whole thing because that would ruin the fun of it, but this is the one project that I'm working on right now. I started it back in 2008. Oh my gosh, I started it before I was married, so that'll tell you how old that is. And so I've been working on it for a little over 10 years now, so it just feels like it's been going on for my whole life, which really it has. So I'm what's called blitzing it. I'm blitzing it out this fall. I started looking at it a couple months ago and realized that if I only worked on this...
I didn't know that was a term, blitzing it.
It's something I made up. Something I made up for me because... because when I get sick of something, which frequently happens, I get sick of a project that I'm working on, I'll just blitz it out, and that's the only thing I'll do until it's done, and then it goes really fast, and then it's great. I got a whole quilt done that way. I've gotten like a whole bunch of my cross stitch projects done that way because it's just like the only way I can focus. So I'm blitzing this project out, and it's probably the longest blitz I've ever done because I think I started blitzing it back in August. Well, and I've done like blitzes on it before, you know, like over time, just I'm so sick of this row, and because you have to put a lot of hours into this, like these little squares in here, like probably each one of these little 10 by 10 squares takes about like an hour. So that'll give you an idea of how much time. So I'll work on it for like a whole weekend, right? And I'll get like 2 columns done. And then I just look at it like, that was my whole weekend. Like, what did I even do? I got like maybe 4 square inches of stitching done. It's just like really disheartening. So I have to blitz it sometimes so that I can feel like I'm getting somewhere, because otherwise I just feel like I'm going nowhere forever. So my goal is, well, my really ambitious goal is to get it done by the end of the year, but I think it's going to be January. I think it's going to be January. Even with the time off that I'm taking from work and even with the holidays and everything, I just have this feeling in my heart like it's going to be January. So that's my only WIP right now because it's going to be done. Like, it's going to be done.
And
it's big. It's real good size.
And she's on the bottom.
I'm on the last row. I'm on the last row. I started the last row.
And the bottom row of pages is a partial page. It's not, for those of you who do HAED, it's not a complete page. That bottom row is
Heaven and Earth design. Yes.
So it's going faster.
Yes. It's only 6.5 squares tall instead of like 8.5 squares tall, which have been the other rows. So I started the last row like a week ago, and I'm just thrilled to death that it's the last row. I can't even tell you. So that's my one WIP. What have you been working on this week? Oh, and I'm on Instagram. If you want to see more pictures of that bad boy, go on Instagram and look up Insanity Stitcher, and that's me. And I posted like a whole bunch of pictures.
And how did you get that name, Insanity Stitcher?
Oh yeah, so this project is affectionately known as the Project of Insanity to the people who know me, and to one of my friends, she calls it the Project of Death because she's like, it would kill me if I worked on that. My favorite comment when I'm working on this, when people see it, like normal people who aren't stitchers, are like, that is just like my picture of purgatory or whatever. I'm just like, noted, totally noted. So it's really funny to see what people say. But anyways.
Yes, you can see regular updates on Instagram.
I post every few days.
Until she comes again to show us her.
Yes.
We'll have her on a couple more times before it's finished so you can see it as it goes along.
And then I'll take it all out of the frames and show you the real, like the whole thing at the end. So look forward to that.
Yeah, and then you should tell us when you do it at the end where you were in your life for each section.
Yes, because that's totally a thing. It's like a timeline of like all the adult years of my life. It's ridiculous.
All right. I worked on Quaker Diamonds again by Rosewood Manor.
I was trying to remember what part of this I actually did. I think...
Here it is.
Because it was like up in here, I want to say. Like up in this section that I was doing it.
You think so?
Yeah, I think you did.
I can't remember either. I know you did a good chunk for me, but I don't remember where it was. And then I had that bottom medallion started, so I did a couple more rows on that, is where I worked, that bottom diamond.
Okay. Yeah.
And it is the Valdani threads on 40 count, picture this plus legacy is what it's on. And the Valdani thread, it did call for one, when you're on 40 count, you usually only use one strand. But I tried it with one strand and it was just too see-through. I like it more.
With more coverage.
I like the stitching to cover up the fabric entirely. So I went to 2 strands on this. So if this was full coverage, I think it would start to actually push the fabric out because it's too thick. But because there is so much But even on these sections where it gets close to full coverage, it's been fine. But I love how rich the colors are because I did 2 strands. All right, so there's that one.
Awesome.
This is the Paula Vaughn September quilt that I've been working on out of this book, Paula Vaughn Quilts for All Seasons. That is actually Catherine's book, and I was actually doing this for her.
Yes.
So
I
that
don't think I'm gonna make a quilt anymore. I just think that.
So after this one, we can be done.
Maybe, I'm gonna have to look at it again and see what I actually want to do with it. 'Cause maybe I'll make like, I don't know. I'll have to. I don't know. But it's very cute. I love it.
Again. I did some more on the greenery over here. I added a couple more colors of green working up there. So that was my Thursday project.
Nice.
And then I had a finish. I'll show you that in a minute.
Yeah, we're not to that section yet.
I started Alessandra Adelaide Needleworks. I started this Manger Ornament that I've had in my stash forever. And this was a Mania start.
Oh,
I'm just so proud of
okay,
this.
yes.
Working on that Mania list.
She always has to tell me when she starts stuff because it has to go on the magnet board.
So, it needs to go away. This is how far I got. I did start it in May, but I only worked on it one day in May for Mania, so I haven't worked on it since. So I got quite a bit done.
Makes me so happy.
Yesterday. Mary's on there. I was really excited about that, so she can see what she is.
How much did you get done for Mania versus?
I think I had like this little bit done right here, maybe.
Because you only worked on it for one day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was one day. That was all it was.
Okay.
It is on 25 count even weave, 1 strand over 1 thread, just like a Heaven and Earth
Just
Designs.
like in my Heaven and Earth design, yep.
And it is, the thread I'm using is Glorianna Schoolhouse Red, is what color that is.
Ugh,
And
love
I'm
it.
really excited how that's
I love
turning
that
out.
red color.
I love that red. Worked out well on there. Okay, even though I didn't work on Shores by Carriage House Samplings this week, we're going to talk about it for a minute so that Catherine can show you hers. So mine still looks the same. Still halfway through that middle block. And here we'll, I don't know if we can scoot back so you can see all of mine. Okay, now Catherine's going to show you hers that is on the called for fabric.
It's like
so you
sand
can
or something.
see.
I can't for the life of me remember
Oh, well.
what
I didn't bring that up here.
I know. It's like it looks more red in the picture, like the model picture. So this one is mine.
You might have to scoot your chair back.
Maybe. We'll just go across
show the
like
whole
you did
thing,
before. Ta-da! So I like it because the white shows up really nicely.
Mm-hmm. I really
on
like
this
how that
one.
works
The red,
on that dark
yeah,
brown.
the dark brown red color.
It's kind of a deep
So-
tan.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. But yeah, the whites show up really good in it, and like even the blues show up really nicely in it.
Mm-hmm.
I made like a few modifications to my mermaid because she, as mom said, she's looking a little bit dead. So I added like a little smile and a little she just looks better. She looks more lively now. But it was fun to work on, and like this house, I love this house over here because it's got like the pretty windows and everything, and the rocks down here on this turned out really nicely. I like it a lot. It's just, I need to get it framed at some point. That would be a good thing to do. But for now, it's just hanging out, and I like pulling it out every once in a while. So then when I found out she was working on hers, I was like, oh, this will be fun. Little comparison.
There, we should
just
put
to
them
see
right
how
next
they're
to each
different.
other
Yeah.
a little bit so you can see the difference.
In fact, maybe we'll put up the same
Oh,
block.
the same block.
So like you can see kind of the difference to where the yellow shows up really nicely on her green, but then the blues and the whites show up a little bit better on mine.
Yeah, show this middle.
Oh yeah, that's
The
a good.
sails.
That's a good.
I love how your sails show up.
Yeah.
I might
It's
have
funny
to
to
do
see the
some back
difference.
stitching on mine
Yeah.
to see mine a little better, but
It's funny, and the
love
red
it
actually
other than
shows
that.
up really nice on
yeah,
both.
yeah, it does.
So that's an interesting thing. Oh, and then this is the lace square that she was showing you last time that it shows
Yeah,
up a
the
little
lace
bit
does-
differently
just
on
doesn't
my
show up very
on my
well on
red
mine.
with the cute little mermaid. So there you go. That's our fun times with. She got me into Hawk Run Hollow really bad. I haven't done as many Hawk Run Hollows as she has. Maybe I'll do the map because it seems
yes.
like you guys are not a huge fan of the map. The other people that we stitch with.
So yeah, you should do the map.
Oh, and funny story about Hawker and Hollow, actually. My mom hates borders, right?
It's repetitive. It's doing the same thing over and over again.
They're so boring. So what I started doing many years ago when I was very poor, and I was like, oh, shoot, what am I going to get my mom for her birthday and for Mother's Day? Because they're like right next to each other also. So I'm like, God dang it, what am I going to do? And then it dawned on me that I'm also a stitcher. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll just take a couple of her projects out of craft prison and like get them a little bit further so that she won't hate them so much. So for Shores of Hawker and Hollow, I can't remember what year it was. I don't think it was last year. I think it was either the year before or 2 years before or something like that. I went through and I did all of the borders around like the edges so that she could just go in.
Which is crazy counting.
I know. I don't know
what if I get cleared out to here and it's wrong?
I know. Well, luckily, I mean, when they all come together, they'd all have to be. Yeah, you can kind of tell. Yeah, you can kind of tell. But yeah, no, that was like obsessively counted. But I think I counted it 3 or 4 times. Like it was just, I was so nervous about getting it wrong.
And it makes it so much easier for me to work on it. To already have those squares on there, I'm like, oh, let's fill in this one. Oh, let's fill in this one. Instead of like, I don't want to get that out. I'd have to put the next square in before I can start the next square.
She wasn't working on them. She's got like 3 or 4 of these things, and she wouldn't work on it because she had to put in the new square that goes all around. Yeah, I'm like, you know what? I can just take care of that part, and then you can just pick on whatever square you want to work on. Because, you know, all with the goal of like getting the WIP just like down. So yeah, I know you're still doing it in order, which cracks me up. But if you wanted to, the point is that you have the choice.
I could.
You have the choice to be able to do whatever square that you want to work on. So
totally.
So it's really funny. The other ladies that we stitch with, they're like, "Can we adopt your daughter? Can she do that for us?" Like, dang, maybe I should
I'd like her to work on.
Yeah, maybe I should like hire myself out, commission work, and just like get people a little bit further. Or windows. The other one I really love to do on hers is windows because she has
those are repetitive too.
She loves houses, but she hates windows. So I'm always in there like doing all the repetitive windows so she can do like the fun stuff all around it.
Yes,
it cracks me up.
Yes.
So.
All right. The next one that I did work on this week.
Yes.
It's called My Peaceable Kingdom. I didn't even realize the word "my" was in there.
Oh, really? Okay,
My Peaceable Kingdom by Catherine Theron. And it is a class exclusive piece. The Swan Sampler Guild had her come out and teach a class for us. So I'm sorry you can't go out and buy this, but I thought I'd show it to you anyway.
Beautiful.
Because it's just been so... And it was... I think she came... I have a date up here at the top of 2015, and I think she came in 2014. I think the class was in 2014.
So it's like 3 years old now, 4 years old now.
Is the sun shining through it? No?
No, I think we're all right.
So we started over here. The day we started in class, we started right here. So that was where I started to begin with.
And I changed. So cute.
I know, and these, the French knots on these lavender.
Just about killed her.
Not lavender. Lilac bushes.
Yeah.
Oh.
She hated those.
There's a specialty stitch on this tree.
They're gorgeous, but they're very painful.
It's got 2 things on top of each other, it looks like. 2 stitches on top of each other. So the top part I personalized. I changed the wording to changed. The original she originally designed it for a guild that was not our guild. So she put something up here. She had her name, I believe, and something that she wanted to say. And then this verse along here was the name of the guild and the date that they had the class. Oh. So it wasn't our guild, so we all chose to put, I could have put our guild's name on there and just done it that way, but I decided instead I have a quote from Julian of Norwich. She was a nun. This quote is attributed to her in 1373, and it says, "And all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well." Because I loved that.
That's perfect. It's like brilliant for this.
Things are not going well. I'm just like, yeah, makes me feel better. Okay, so the middle section is the biggest section. It has this huge yellow house on it. That part has taken forever, but I'm getting close. I have a little. Yesterday I worked on this. I finished this path yesterday. We went and stitched with some friends up in Salt Lake. And then I started on this little boy right here. And then as soon as I have this little boy and some chicks done right here, I can fill in the grass. And then we'll be on section 3, the bottom section. And I just wrapped this color have a color picture of the model. Color copy of the model. So the bottom section will look like that.
Yeah.
And this whole section in the middle is a HAED, basically. It's a mini HAED. It's 1/1. So that's going to be fun. But I'm excited to get to that part.
It's gorgeous. It's very nice.
I
So
know.
I'm just wondering if I'm going to end up helping with that. We'll see.
Well, I actually she came again just last year. Some of us who used to be members of the Swan Sampler Guild after it disbanded got together and paid for her to come out and teach 2 more pieces. So this one's going to get finished. The question is, the other 2 that I started at the class last year, are those, but that was the plan, is finish this and then move on to those 2.
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
I have to think really hard. I can only do that one on a Saturday or a weekday when I'm off work because it's got specialty stitches and the instructions are in a binder. So I have to think really hard. You have to find where you were, read the instructions, what was the specialty stitch.
It's got to be like a morning project.
It's not actually that hard to
fresh.
do once you refresh your memory as to where you are and what you were doing.
But you can't just jump back into it like whatever. It's not going to happen.
Yes. All right. That was WIP progress. Into WIP progress.
Oh, and I forgot to tell you, it's with mine. I realized I didn't tell you like any of the details, which is like bad move. But it's James C. Christensen. Breaks my heart a little bit because he passed away in the last.
Oh.
I think that was that might have been 2 years ago now. I can't remember. But
he's the artist.
He's the artist.
Did the original art.
That did the painting. Yes, that the Heaven and Earth design is designed from. So it's on 25 count. Oh, I always say it wrong. Even weave, but it's like the L Lugana. It's 25 count antique white Lugana is what it's stitched on, and it's 1 thread over 1 thread.
And did you say that? It's called Fairy Tales.
It's called Fairy Tales, yes. Mm-hmm.
So it has I don't know, 20 fairy tales in the picture.
Which is really cool.
You have to look around and figure out what fairy. You can go online and it will tell you.
Yes.
What all the fairy
like a map
tales are.
on there to see what they all are. So that's really fun. So I picked it because it has a lot going on, but then it's also a nightmare because it has a lot going on.
So. A lot of confetti. So some confetti.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Yes. I'll have to show you at some point. Well, I can't remember if there's a picture of it on Instagram or not, but there's a gingerbread house that's like all the candy that's stuck on it. It was a nightmare, but it's gorgeous. Like I love it. So anyways, moving on to finishes.
Yes. I have one actual finish from this week.
Really?
Yes. And
wait.
It's right here.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we did talk about this. I'm like, how come we haven't talked about this?
So I finished Last Stitch Cemetery by Hinzite. And I
so
sewed the charms laying down like they're supposed to yesterday. Sewed the charms on.
Oh, it's so fun. I love it.
The
little saying.
The called for threads that the pattern calls for. I think it's all DMC. And then, like I said last time, it's mystery fabric. I don't know what it is. Staring at it, I think it's probably 32 count something, and the fabric is very dense. You cannot see light through this fabric at all.
Yeah.
And it's very soft. For those of you who are into fabric, you probably know what it is, but I don't know what the name of the color is, but I finished.
It's so fun.
We should have a cheer
and it's
or
so
something.
Yeah. Yay! Yeah. It's perfect for the season too. I thought it was very appropriate that you finished it. What are we at now? Like 3 days before Halloween?
Yes. And I got to work on it in October and finished it in October, so that was fun. Okay, now we're going to go on to a section that we like to call old finishes. Because I've been stitching for...
Yeah, how long have you been stitching for now?
Like 35 years. Because I'm 53. I don't mind telling you that.
Mm-hmm. I'm 30. I don't mind telling you that either.
So I started like 5 years before you were born. Wow.
That's
cool to think about. I know, I was thinking it should be longer because I was in high school. I was 16.
Okay.
And a lady at our church, my church class, she happened to show it. And I looked at it and was just like, that is the coolest thing. I want to try that. I had done crewel embroidery. I had done crocheting, knitting by then. I've always liked handwork. But that was the first time I had seen it. So when we do our show about our first project, I'll show you that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I have a lot of finishes I could show you. And a ton of them. I know Pam on Just Keep Stitching has an under the bed box. I have an on top of the shelf big bag that a huge comforter came in, and it's just full of rolled up finished projects. So we'll show you those a few at a time. We're not showing you them all today.
Yeah,
We'll do a
that
few.
would be absurd. We'll do, yes.
So I'm going to start with a seasonal piece. I thought it'd be fun to do a seasonal every time. So this one is Praiseworthy Stitches, and it is called Harvest House.
Oh, it's got sunflowers on it. I love it.
And it had it. I don't know what the model was stitched in, but you can do the DMC conversion, or the DMC colors, or you can do crescent colors. This is what I stitched with originally, and I did do the crescent colors. It's over dyed cotton, so it was. But I just loved the bright fall colors on it. Was what drove me to it. Is the beautiful colors. I want to make it into a pillow.
Oh,
that you
that
can
would be nice.
like, get out for the season and stick on the chairs or something. Okay, that's our seasonal piece.
Yay.
I talked about my 2 chatelaines. I showed you 2 chatelaines in the last video and told you that I had finished a third, so I figure I should probably show you the third instead of just tease you about that I have done another chatelaine, but you can't see it.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about this one. It's so pretty.
I don't think it has a right side up because the middle, so I don't think it matters which way I show it. But this is Evening in the Park. It was originally mystery number 8, I believe. So I did not know what it was going to look like when I signed up to do it. She gave you a general description of what it was going to be like, and we knew it was going to be an evening in the park. But we got each section once a month, and I had no idea what each section was going to be. It has, I don't know if I showed it the right way, if you could be able to see.
Oh, yep. See all
the
those
beads.
beads on there. There's so many beads.
There is these water sections under the swans are
Oh, yeah.
a
Have
ton
those
of
nice waves
beads.
in there. Yeah.
There's just lots of beads on a chatelaine.
There's a lot.
So the outside is the beautiful lamps that you would have in a park at the evening.
Yay.
We've got the swans
old
around
school
every
lamps, too.
section that are sitting on beaded water, and the topiary trees next to them.
I'm always surprised that you do these because you hate the repetition so much.
Well, I said that last week. I don't know if I'll do another one. Oh,
Yeah.
the beautiful gate.
Oh,
that's
yeah, the
around
gate
on
is
every
really
side.
nice.
Because it's everything is 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, almost everything. The middle isn't, but after that, on this one, almost everything has to be done 4 times in a row. So
Did I end up working on Medieval
not my
Mandalay
favorite.
twice or once? I can't remember.
probably twice.
I think it was twice because because it was like the oldest project she had and like the oldest WIP she had for the longest time. I was like, Mom, you gotta finish this. It's like 10 years old. Nah, I have nothing to say actually. I have nothing to say, but mine's like a 10-year project. This Medieval Mandalay was like, no, you need to like just buckle down and get this done. So it was a birthday, Mother's Day project, like a couple of times.
Yes.
But the stipulation was that she had to make progress in between. She can't just give me a project over and over again and just
I
get
had
me a
to
little
have
bit
worked
further
on
on it. Yeah. She has to get
for a bit, quite a bit.
Yes.
Not just 5 stitches
before
she would
gets
take
it
it
back
home
to
again.
me. So there's no cheating in this deal. It's just like a little bit of help.
I'm gonna grab
Oh yes, the
What is-
calendar.
the Fun Everyday calendar.
I love it.
I have this at work, so I brought it home this weekend so I could show it to you.
It's cute.
They're on perforated, the tan brown perforated paper. The called for colors. This is let me hold up one of these. This is a Sam Sarah design. There are 12 leaflets. You have to buy all 12 if you want to do the whole calendar. There are 4 in each leaflet. I think my sister-in-law she bought 6 and I bought 6, and then we shared them.
Oh, that's right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're so cute.
But it took me 2 years to finish it all. But they're so portable. You can just stick, it's on a little piece of perforated paper, and you just grab that in your bag with your threads, and you can work on it anywhere.
It seems like the individual ones went really quick too.
This, let's see if I can sit on my shoulder. Maybe
Do you want me to hold?
I can't hold it from
Here,
the
I will
top
hold.
because the frame falls apart.
Okay.
So you have your day of the week. I know, the legs.
Legs are
It
what?
stands really well on a
Okay,
shelf until you
here
try
we
and
go.
pick it up.
Here we go.
This is the day of the week. This is the month. Then you got your days, and then this over here had quite a few holidays in the leaflets. But it didn't have. I wanted one for every month. I wanted a different one over here that I could change for every month. And I didn't quite make it. I still have a couple months that are missing. So I added some that I made up myself.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
This one I made up myself, and I can't remember
nice.
what pattern I adapted that from. That's November. That's December. This one for September, because September always makes me think of the fair and harvest time.
Wait, you made this one?
I adapted it from this Bent Creek pattern that is called Autumn Bliss. So I used this as a starting point and then just kind of moved it around so that it would fit on
That is so cute.
the pattern that would match the rest.
How well that turned out.
And then it has, the pattern has one for, I think this was actually August, but I didn't use it for August, but it has some weather ones. So I put this one out when it's a sunny day. I put this one out when it's a rainy day, especially if it's a month that I don't have one that goes with that month.
Yeah.
And then this is a snowy day.
Aw.
And then, and I made this one too. This is February's.
Aw.
I saw, it's adapted from another pattern too that I saw. I'll have to look those up.
So
That's
cute.
my calendar. I brought, the frame is the one recommended in the leaflet. I think I just got online and searched Sans Serif on every day. I want to say it was 123 Stitch was carrying this frame at the time. I don't know if they still
That would
do.
make sense.
If we lift these all up, you can see what the frame looks like. And then these up here, you just have to pull this out a little bit to get the cards
Slide that
in. And then you can also buy these cardstock cards that they're glued onto. They're just glued. I used
Like spray glue or something? Yeah.
use spray adhesive.
Yes.
So you can buy a package of these cardstock cards. It came with like 50 in a package, already pre-made, already the right size. I hope you can still buy them.
Right?
And then she had instructions on there how to spray the glue and how to use a jig made out of a file folder so that you could get it straight on there every time so that they would all match. It was really easy. Easiest finishing I've ever done. All right.
And that's
then
saying
I have
something.
two,
It really is.
I have Angel of Love by Lavender and Lace. I have that hanging at work. Probably the most beading I've ever done in my life. Probably the least beading I will ever do on a project.
Gosh. Oh
But
my
I brought
gosh.
it home from work so I could show you.
Oops. I don't think it broke. I think it just scared me.
This has a suede mat, the blue suede mat.
Oh.
And then and I had it
Yeah,
framed
get it really
at the
close.
Craft Center of Fine Stitchery in Salt Lake City.
Our LNS.
Our LNS, yes. We won't be redundant this week.
Yeah.
Just call it an LNS. Can you tell if it's, sorry about the glare. This is the best room to do this in. Ton of beading. I saw someone online. This is done on 28 count Ancient by Picture This Plus. The fabric is called Ancient. I saw someone on the Facebook group talked about that if she was gonna do it again. In fact, I think she started it over, or maybe did two of them. She said she would do it on 25 count fabric over two instead of 28 count because the beads are just a little too big. When you get a whole row of them that have to fit all right next to each other in a whole row, it's hard to make them fit. They're a little crooked. And especially that that globe that she's holding to get all those beads, I actually had to start skipping rows to make all those beads fit because they would not fit. But the lady online, and I wish I remember who it was, said when she did it on 25 count, the beads fit perfectly.
Oh, good
And
to
there was
know.
not a problem with them being too crowded and laying straight. And they were perfect.
And you also omited the wings on this one, right?
Oh,
like the original
yes.
pattern.
She
stuff
has
is
a
great,
wings and
big
a
wings.
halo, and
Oh yeah.
I love her because of her dress. So I just thought, then the thoughts of stitching all those white wings, I was just like, no, let's just leave those off.
Here, I'll put it over here.
Yeah, you'd be safe with that one. All right. And then when I brought it home, I decided, because I switch it out, the one I have on the wall at work quite a bit. I switch it out so that people at work can see different ones.
Yeah.
So I'm going to leave that one home now and take this one to work. So I'm going to show it to you before I take it to work. And I don't have to bring it home again. This one is a Theresa Winslow. It is, I have to look it up. It's on my paper. English. Cottage Garden Sampler
Oh.
by Theresa Winslow. And the glare is terrible. I can't see to get you out of the glare, sorry. This one has beading on it as well. A lot of blended threads. Theresa Winslow is known for her blended threads. But I love Theresa Winslow. I love how her colors turn out because of all of her blended threads. But that one was a long time ago that I did that one. I'm going to take that to work now. Hang that on the wall at work so people can see it. It's much easier to show before they're framed.
Yes.
That over there.
Yeah.
Okay. That is all of my old finishes. Catherine,
Okay.
do you have some old finishes?
Oh yeah,
Yours
I
probably
don't.
aren't as quite as old as
Right?
mine.
Yeah. They're still. I mean, okay. So you saw
Shores.
and that one was probably. That was when I lived in Texas. I was finishing that one, so that was probably 2012. Shout out to Dallas! If anybody's in Dallas, I love you and your Waffle House and your Whataburger and your Steak and Shake. Like, I'll come back someday. So that was 2012 because that was the year before my son was born. And so this is, oh gosh, what is this called? It's ink circles. It's Cirque de Circles is what it is. It's the circle one. And I don't know what I was thinking doing it on black Aida. I mean, it's gorgeous. Like, I love it. I love the way that it turned out. I love this thread, and I'm really going to have to get this one framed for reals because I love it so much. And it's just gorgeous. Like, at any distance, it's just precious to me. But the black was interesting. I think it's just, we decided it's not
14 count
It's not
Aida.
14 count Aida.
It
It's
might
like
be 18 count
16 or
Aida. It's
18.
pretty, I think it's 18 count. It's pretty
Yeah.
tiny.
So, and it's just DMC. It is 111. It's like this gold variegated DMC floss, but it's gorgeous. Like, and I think I was working on this one. This might have been like the year before. This might have been 2010, 2011. But oh my gosh, I love it. Just
Beautiful.
love that it. I love that it looks like gold. It looks like gold leaf from far away. You know, it looks like you pressed it into the. And so it was the first time actually that I got really used to stitching, not doing any half, like, you know how you run across the row, like half stitches all the way and then you come back across. You can't do that with this because
Variegated.
the variegated won't take it. So this was
You
the
have to
first.
complete each X as you go.
Yes. So this was the first time that I had practiced doing that, which was great because then I moved on to having an Earth Designs later that's like all that. So that was good practice for that and it turned out really nicely. The other one that I brought.
Oh, and you know what I love about ink circles as well?
What's that?
They don't repeat.
Also,
This
yes.
part over here is not the same as this part over here.
None of it.
Everything on here is different. Nothing is a mirror image. It's
Yeah.
all just a little different.
Yeah. Yes. Also,
I'm going to do an ink circles. I have several in my stash.
I didn't even realize it looks like sunflowers on here, which is probably one of the
Well, that's
reasons
probably
I
why it
picked
appealed to you.
Sunflowers are my favorites. Like,
She
it's
does.
a
She
problem.
likes them a
Like, whatever poor
I love
boy.
houses. She loves sunflowers.
Yes.
Always
Whatever.
what catches my eye first.
Yeah. So whatever person decides
Is it
to come
gonna
into
stay?
my life, I think it's going
You
to
got a
stay.
hold of it?
Yeah. So this is the other finish that I brought. This is the birth sampler I did for my son when he was born 5 years ago. And it is a Dimensions Gold piece. And so I've covered up his information so you can't see what his name is and stuff. But it's, we were really trying to do a nautical theme at the time for some reason. I don't remember why, but probably because it's just cool. But I love the lighthouse. And I love the house, and he was actually born in the evening. So that was just kind of like a really...
Oh, you have the date showing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well. The date's not going to hurt anybody. What was I saying? I picked this while I was pregnant with him.
And he was born in the evening.
And he was born in the evening. He was born at 5:35, and this picture looks like it's legit 5:35 at this lighthouse. So that made me really, really happy. But so I worked on it while I was pregnant with him, and I didn't get it done before he was born, though, right? He was born super early, so I was like, dude, you ruined my whole plan. Like, this was going to be done, but it actually worked out because I had to put in the back stitching for all of his information later anyways, so it's fine. There's actually a really cool, my husband at the time had a GoPro, and he rigged this thing up for me to where it would take a picture of my stitching. It was like I had to use this, he like hooked it onto the frame somehow, and so he set it up so that it would do this time-lapse thing, so it would take a picture every 10 seconds or something like that. So I have this really cool video that I'll link in the comments for you below that's basically, I think it's a lot of this like sky area. I can't remember which, it's in the sky, but it's this really cool time lapse of like this big section of the sky that you can watch. So I'll link that for you because it's really kind of fun to see it all come together, and
it is.
It's like little like
and if you
flashes.
watch carefully, you'll see the baby.
Yes,
a couple of
the
times.
tiny baby.
Because the
after he
baby's
was
laying
born.
on her lap while she's stitching. And,
Yes.
and for that little time lapse, there's a little baby
Yeah,
there.
so that's fun.
We'll
So
link
that's-
that below.
Yes, and I think that's all the finishes I brought to show today.
She has more. She'll bring them
I
next
do.
time.
I have a handful more. A lot of them are like these really embarrassing fairies that I did when I was a young adult because I was just like
Fairies
so
are beautiful.
into
I
it.
still think they're
Oh yeah, no, they're gorgeous, and just look at them now. Like, oh, the person that I was when I was 20 is a very different person than who I am at 30. So,
Which I think we all do. I mean, I look
Oh,
back
yeah.
at the stuff I did
totally.
in the 90s. You're going to see some of that in the 90s. And what I did in the 80s. There was not a lot around in the 80s. But
Yeah.
I did some in the 80s too. So yeah, your tastes change as you throughout your life. It's really interesting to see.
Oh, and I was gonna tell you, all of my stuff is in DMC. Like, I don't think I've done anything in silks thus far, except for her projects. When I work on her projects, a lot of them are in silk. But with this one, with the Dimensions Gold, I wish that I had not done it on Aida. This actually is on 14 count Aida, I think.
It's like a cream color.
Yes. So it actually, it was in a kit. It was a
No.
Dimensions Gold kit.
It's
No,
not 14
smaller?
count.
Oh, okay.
It's either
Something else.
16 or 18.
Okay. I did it in the kit fabric, and you use the kit floss and everything like that. I wish I had picked a different fabric to do it on, because I do a lot of, I think the original pattern has a lot of full stitches, and then the back stitching like cuts off them corners and stuff, which drives me crazy. So I was totally fine with doing like the partial stitches, but then doing it on the Aida was just like a total nightmare. So if I was ever to do another project like that, to where I know I'm gonna like fix it and do like the little 3/4 stitches to make it look the way that I want it to, I'm not doing it on Aida. I'm doing it on something else. So just a little note about that. But it was a really pretty project, and I'll probably. There's another one. They have a really pretty like snow, like Northern Lights thing.
Oh yeah.
I'm all about the full coverage, you guys. It's a problem. Like, I do a sampler here and there, but the full coverage ones really have my heart. So, but it's gorgeous. But I look at it and I'm like, that one's gonna be the same kind of problem, to where I want to do the partial stitches. So I'm gonna have to like get.
But
some
that's
pretty,
easy to switch the fabric.
It's
out.
true. It's really
That's
true.
Just you can pick something that's really close to the same color, or you can do totally something different that's overdyed.
And it's full coverage, so I don't think it will make much of a difference. But like the even
That's
weave,
true.
I love the even weave.
I know, isn't it wonderful?
Oh my gosh, I know.
It's easy to see the holes, everything's even.
Yeah, it's awesome. But yes.
All right, our next section is, the next section actually is what you wish you were stitching right now.
Oh, that's right.
So is that what you wish you were stitching? Is that Northern Lights, or is there something different?
Oh, that's a really good question. Yes, the Northern Lights one, it'll probably get worse as like it actually starts to snow. Then I'll really want to be stitching on that. The other one, I started pulling stuff out because I was pulling stuff out for our video, and I noticed I have a couple. I have one that's like this really pretty like fall scene that's got, I should have brought it. I don't know what I was thinking. I should have brought it. It's like,
Next time I'll warn you.
Yeah.
Bring what you're going to show for the what you wish section.
yes. I have this fall one that's like, it's like a barn, and it's like a cute like quilt in front of it, and it's got, it probably has a sunflower on it. That's probably why I bought it. What do you wish you were stitching
I
on?
wish I was stitching on this. I look at it every fall. It's Cricut Collection, number 2285, and it's called Rest and Be Thankful. And it has this pumpkin pie over here, but it's this. Of course, it has a house on it.
Of course it does. Yeah.
That piece. And I think, I want to say I saw it stitched at the Craft Center of Fine Stitchery in Salt Lake. I think they have a model up, which is just, oh, I just love that. But I rarely start anything in October, because October is when you start to think, What do I want to have finished by the end of the year? I should pull out what I want to have finished, but I need to, and I'm very goal-oriented, driven, like deadline-driven. So I'll get it out, and I'm like, I can finish this and this and this, and I'm gonna. So I hardly. So maybe I'll put this in my, because it's only a little over 100 both ways.
Oh,
it's not a very
that's
big
not
piece
bad.
for the stitch count. So maybe I'll add it to my mania list for next fall. Maybe
that's
this
a
will be
good
my fall
idea.
piece for next fall.
There you go.
But that's what I wish I was stitching.
Nice.
All right. I think that's the end.
That's all of our things, you guys. I'm shocked.
I know.
But we'll have more. We'll make more videos, and
Yes.
it'll be great. And in the comments, tell us if you think we look like each other, if we look like we're actually mother-daughter, or if we don't. Because I think we do, but who knows? Let us know.
All righty. And we'll see you another time. Hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You gonna...
Yeah.